Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Art Games. Today we will be continuing with the Road To Deity series, playing of course as the Shoshone. And if you followed the last episode, you know the game is pretty much lost. Since we are once again falling behind. And yeah, we're just doing badly when it comes to happiness, gold. Let's look at the demographics for a little bit. There are 8 civilizations total. No, there are 6 civilizations total because we wiped 2 of them out. So we're almost lost in population and crop yield. Our land and production is slightly below average, and everything else is just horrible. Yeah, that's what the current position is. So I think we're just going to be losing again. But I will never abandon a game without a fight. So that's what we're doing today. I guess just keep trying. Yes, let us work together. No. And who said the uncompleted Taj Mahal? Of course she did. Oxford University, I guess. They can't steal that. Well, what happened to our happiness? What happened? What? Puppets. Did a trade? Yes, a trade. That's not what you mean. That is a fair deal. Poland. You don't have anything to offer. China is a dick and also doesn't have anything to offer. Cotton for Sultan. Well, I guess we're just going to lose. Yeah, I know. The enemy has been spotted near Jakarta. Half of Jakarta is being burnt down and there's nothing I can do about it. This sucks. A great merchant has been born in the city of Tonga. Well, you can go to Hanoi. Although why you'd come to my civilization is a very good question. One that I am not sure he has an answer prepared for. You die. I will not return the unit. You die as well. You go repair. I am probably going to continue with Civ 5 for at least a bit, but not the Road to Deity series. I guess I'm just going to start another series. Because let's be honest, I'm just not good enough to actually complete this Road to Deity. I'm just not good enough. So I'm going to be, I guess, maybe some kind of Total War like campaign where we play on a huge map with only military victory types being allowed, so only domination. And we're not going to be playing that on Emperor, probably King. But then with the caveat that I, as the player, am not allowed to attack someone else until I unlock the tech tree, and I have to stick to a certain amount of cities. So basically, so we're going to do a ton of late game warfare, and late game warfare in this game is very fun. It is the I'm probably going to be using a few mods, specifically removing giant death robots and XCOM squads and nerfing stealth bombers. Nerfing stealth bombers is important because stealth bombers are just too overpowered in this game. They're just so much stronger than they should be because they can't be intercepted. So, for all intents and purposes, unless you directly attack an enemy surface-to-air missile unit, stealth bombers are invincible, and XCOM squads and giant death robots are just not realistic. Colombo has declared war on Casimir. They're just not realistic, not modern. They're futuristic, and they also kind of break the game. So, how I think that would go, with stealth bombers being nerfed, the AI often likes to build air defense units. They really love their air defense units, and without stealth bombers being there to just not care about air defense units, to put it bluntly, I think it's going to end very interestingly. Actually, oh, I can't change you. I think it's going to end very interestingly with probably an armored push being required, in addition to nuclear warheads, of course. But an armored push with modern armor would probably be the only true option. Let's build a workshop and economics as our free tech. Where was I? Oh yeah, we probably want. Let's go for scientific theory. Yes. This is the way. Where was I? We were talking about the game, like in the other militaristic game. So it would probably be a very armored. Hello? A very armored playthrough with the use of modern armor. And if we play Germany, we could also use panzers, which granted aren't. Oh, hello. Which granted aren't like. What will make this? You will give me extra. Oh no, in exchange for a third. Yeah, we're not doing that, lady. Cotton for dyes. Okay, they're not. An unmet player enters the industrial era. That's way too quick. Way too quick. So yeah, it will probably be a late game push. Sure. With Germany, because Germany has a lot of production bonuses, like the Hanse. The Hanse is a good production building, so we'll be able to produce a lot. And then in the late game, warfare is very fast, which is honestly one of the reasons why planes are so good. Oh, come on! As I was saying, warfare is very fast, which is why planes are so good. Planes, of course, can attack basically everything. But without being able to rely on planes, the fastest unit in the game, or at least the fastest ground unit in the game, is the modern armor and panzers. You have aluminum. We are over here, not knowing that powder can explode, and he has aluminum. I mean, we're playing against Korea, so that's to be expected, but still. Where was I? Sure. Yeah. So a late game push, Modern Armor are the fastest unit in the game. So they're the only ones who can actually keep up with late game warfare. And if another, well, we're going to have to bomb cities, but for that stealth bombers are probably fine. They're not, as long as we can use the panzers to and the modern armor to take down any kinds of enemy resistance in the area from air defense units, and maybe some rocket artillery, although the biggest problem is probably going to be the fact that it is just very hard to get a lot of aluminum in the late game. You're always going to need more aluminum than you have. You need to retreat and heal. So rationing aluminum will be very important. And the biggest... well, there are a lot of late game units that use aluminum. We can steal from the Chinese. Maybe an aqueduct. And ivory and furs. Oh, you don't have them anymore. A second source of ivory. Yeah, it's going to... we're going to have to rely on our ability to manage our aluminum. Because modern armor uses it, stealth bombers and jet fighters use them. On the sea, I don't think anything uses it, but that's the sea is the exception. Rocket artillery uses it. Hydro plants in your cities use it, which boosts production. Same for. Okay, I don't have pointy sticks. My sticks are very blunt. You can go to Tyre. And you can build a monument. Yeah, it will be crucially important to ration our aluminum. And of course, the same goes for uranium. Uranium is a very important resource in the late game, and it can be used either on nukes or on boosting production, so that's an important trade-off. Although I think nukes will be the far better option in that case. Simply because of their destructive potential. And the fact that spending... this city's production sucks. Let's build a bank here. Yeah, it will be very interesting. I'm struggling to see the usage of... No, maybe they'll just... the frontline infantry. Like in the late game you have mechanized infantry. They are mechanized infantry are strong, but they are not, for their era, they're okay compared to the other stuff you can find. They have 100 combat strength, I believe. No, 90 combat strength against the 100 combat strength that can be brought by the 100 combat strength that can be brought by the modern armor, but that's still better than the 80 combat strength of the Panzer. But of course, Panzers are nice because they can be upgraded into modern armor the moment you lose one of them, and they are faster than modern armor. Which is kind of strange because they're based on the Tiger, like the model in game is based on the Tiger, and the Tiger wasn't exactly known for being fast. Yeah, so the usage of mechanized infantry are faster than regular infantry. They have a speed of 3 a turn compared to 2 for pretty much every infantry unit before that. But the question is, Will that be enough to keep up? And I think the answer to that question lies in lies in how far. How do I say this? Yeah, the answer to that question. Phew. I actually asked quite a difficult question. Yeah, that's a very interesting question. And I just forgot the question, so I'm going to have to leave you hanging here. Yeah, mechanized infantry, that is... Oh, okay, never mind. Mechanized infantry can probably be the best frontline units, as they have good combat strength. They can dig in and use fortresses, unlike say mechanized unlike say modern armor. So they are good frontline units, and then we can use the panzers and modern armor for the breakthroughs, and of course exploiting those breakthroughs. Same was plotting against Boudica. Hey, we're actually doing pretty nice now. 1600 gold, 3 out of 5 trade routes, 12 happiness. I think it's time to annex Tonga. Go work on a courthouse. Choose public school. Yeah, it's... Are you mad? The naval combat will also be very interesting in such a game. Then no. Because most of the time naval combat is, by the end of the game, is pretty much over. But the late game naval combat has some very interesting effects if stealth bombers aren't there to ruin everything. Because usually stealth bombers are just uninterceptable. They make jet fighters useless, so therefore carriers by association are also useless. Missile cruisers, whose whole thing is that they can do everything. They can do anti-submarine warfare. They can fight against ships. They can fight against enemy ground forces. They can fight against submarines. They can't defend the fleet from air threats anymore. Arts funding passes, that's nice. So without the stealth bomber, that's going to be very interesting. Missile cruisers are strong, and them combined with nuclear submarines will probably make up the majority of the fleet. But there are some very interesting decisions to be made, like how should I use how should I use certain... What was I? Yeah, should I use guided missiles, for example? Guided missiles in game are usually they can deal a lot of damage in one turn and don't cost maintenance, so they're really good for just the first strike or killing retreating units. But in a protracted naval war, usually even if an enemy unit doesn't heal, it will still not be that effective in dealing damage equal to the production it costs. Wuzetion is constructing Broadway already. I think the only way to actually win this game is taking over Beijing. The question is, how on earth do we take over Beijing? That's how we win the game. We rush dynamite. Artillery. Artillery are a game changer. And what's the first? No, we can get industrialization now for free, allowing us to build factories at least once. Please don't tell me we don't have any coal. There is coal here, but now we don't have those. I should have saved those great generals. Great generals could have provided us the reach to actually get that coal. 7. I guess I'm just going to have to build an extra city. No, that's not available either. Yeah, I'm just going to have to build a settler. But I think we're going to do that the next episode. I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you wish to follow the Road to Deity. And if you have any questions or advice, I would be happy to respond to that in the comment section. I hope to see you next time, and goodbye.